Welcome, everyone, to It's the Car Business. Is AI right for your dealership webinar? Brought to you by Rite Media's Rite 5 Super Automotive Growth System. For those of you that may not know me, I'm David Allen. I'm the CEO of Rite Media AI. I've been in the car business for over 30 years. I'm a best-selling author of numerous books and publications and magazine articles, like Dealer Marketing Magazine, like 40-some of there. I've helped my clients generate billions of dollars in sales, and I'm also the host of It's the Car Business Show, which we are watching right now. Okay, here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about the current state of AI, how it challenges in every dealership, and how AI can solve it. What are the first places AI should be implemented? Should you be an early adopter? And as the title of this is AI right for your dealership? So let's talk about the current state of AI in 2025. AI is doubling every 90 days. So every 90 days, it's twice as powerful as it was 90 days previously. It's coming on us like a freight train, and everyone is affected by it or will be and subject to it. The early adopters will be the big winners. And the good news is you don't have to know how it works to use it. It's kind of like electricity. It can work in the background, kind of like you go and pick up and turn on a light. You don't have to know how the place was wired for it to work for you. Before there was online shopping, your only competition was your local dealer. Now, again, I've been in this a long time. And usually the local dealer was also the same brand that you had was your only competition. Now you compete with thousands of dealers and consumers for that sale. And all these websites, here's 16 of the best used ones right there. The landscape of the car sales has changed forever. And brand loyalty is no longer what it used to be either. Plus, you're now inundated with numerous incoming lead channels. Okay, as we spoke before, you just had phone calls or people walked in. Now you got phone calls, website, email, text, Facebook Messenger, Google Business Profile, Google Ads, your Google Carousel, Instagram DMs, TikTok, and you can keep on going. It becomes almost humanly impossible to keep up with everything coming at you without help. Let's talk about generational communication preferences. And what I mean by that is this. It's important to understand and be aware of who your buyer is and how they like to communicate. Again, we have so many ways for that. You need to know how they like to do it. Baby boomers usually are in person by phone and email. Doesn't mean they don't use text or chat, but those are your preferences. Gen X is phone and email. Millennials are text and chat. And Gen Z is text, chat, and in person, which surprised me because I guess maybe it's coming around full circle here, coming back around again. Who knows? If you only use one or two of the inbound and outbound communications, you're missing out on like 50% of your buyer's pool. Because if you're not speaking their language, they just won't hear you. In today's environment, there are 3 stages of marketing. Number 1 is attract. The keys to that success is reach, that's your marketing going out, and your reputation. What people seem to forget about the reputation is you could be offering the greatest deals and completely overwhelming everyone around you in your marketing. But if your reputation isn't good, they won't come. And as you well know, if people don't like who you are or they heard bad things about you, they're gonna pass and go to the next one. Then you got to convert. If you've done those 2 correctly, you have to convert. So the keys to success there are to be ready, to have systems in place to respond, to react immediately, and then for the ones that cannot grab immediately, you want to remarket to them to catch them as they become ready. A lot of the sign-ins and sign-ups for this webinar came in the 4th and 5th email of this webinar. If I had done only one, we would have had a whole lot less people who signed up for it. Now, a lot of people who sign up for webinars don't always come. They wait for the replay, things like that. But we're still talking about signing up and raising your hand for whatever it is. Then is retain. And that is your reliability. That's the sale. And that's the service after the sales. We all know about that. And then if you do that well, you remarket and you resell. In order to have success in your marketing efforts and have continuous flow of customers ready to buy in these three categories, you need to be working in harmony with each, behind the scenes, so you can do what you do best, and that's sell cars. As a society, we have no patience. We put something in the microwave for, say, 2 minutes, and after a minute, we're yelling, hurry up. And I would imagine that everybody here, if they've ever used a microwave, does that. I know I do. So what happens is it's called speed to lead. Our society is totally instant gratification. We want everything and we want it now. Nobody has any patience, just like I talked about in the microwave. MIT did a study. What they found was if somebody reaches out to, say, you or some other service business or whatever it is, to a business, and they respond in the first 5 minutes, they call that the golden window, you have the best chance of converting or at least grabbing that lead. However, if you wait to 10 minutes, if you look at this graph, it drops 80% in 5 minutes and then slides off the scale, goodbye. And truthfully, today, 5 minutes is too slow. If you respond within a minute, your chances of grabbing that lead go up by 378%. Now, I don't make these numbers up. These are by different research that they have done, and it just makes sense to me. If you're the first to respond, 78% of the deals will go to you, because people are so used to, but frustrated with people not getting back to them. I can't tell you how many times one of my clients will tell me, they call up and I call back and they're shocked that I call them back right away. When we call 5 people, you're the only one to call us back. So you can see how powerful that can be. Think about this. How many calls in your dealership a week go to voicemail, get unanswered, or get a busy signal? And how many times have you called back those people and they either ghost you or you're already saying, we already bought one? Fact is this, 80% of all voicemail that was left do not answer your call when you call them back. And how many times have you called someone for something? Let's say, for instance, your screen door, your house, you had a screen door in your house and it broke. So now you open up Google and you're looking through and you're starting to call the different people. I need my screen door fixed. And how many times you get their voicemail, you're like, I want this fixed now. Bang, hang up, not even leave a voicemail, and go to the next one. So the idea, and I think you get this, is when you can respond within a minute, your chances of making something happen go up astronomically. And if you don't, they go down astronomically. So what's losing speed to lead costing you? I did a little bit of my own research last month. I conducted an experiment. I picked on random 100 dealers and I send them a voicemail drop. Now, for those of you who may not know what that is, basically what happens is you record a voicemail and it's automated and it sends it to the people that you want it to be sent to. Their phone will ring, a half a ring, maybe a ring, but they can't pick it up, and it goes right into their voicemail and leaves the message for you. Let me ask a question if I can pull up the chat here. Out of 100 dealers that I reached out to, I'm trying to find your chat, of 100 dealers, if you wouldn't mind, how many you think called back? throw a number in there real quick. 25. Okay. Anybody else? Got a guess? 40. Good guess. 8 called back. Blew my mind. 8. And 1 called back 2 days ago. Today's Thursday, was Tuesday, 33 days later. So total 9 dealers called back. Now here's the message I left. I forgot to tell you. Here's the message I left. The message was this. Oh, I thought you were open. I wanted to buy a car today. Call me back, and left my number twice. Now think about that. I basically said, left the message, call me back, I want to spend money with you. And 9 dealers, 8 responded within a day, and nobody responded immediately. And 1 calls back 33 days later. Let's do some simple math here. We're going to do a little ROI calculator. The average client value. So nowadays, average gross front and back is 3 to 4 G's. Okay. Especially on maybe a used car. So let's be conservative and say 3,000. All right. And that you miss 1 call a day. So there's 30. Now, you might not miss a call for 3 days and then miss 5 the next day. And let's say your average closing ratio is just average or mediocre at 1 in 5 at 20%. You're missing $17,501 a month by those calls that you miss. By only closing 20% of them, that's only 6 deals out of 30. You make an extra $17,500. That's over $200,000 a year in profit that goes right into your pocket. AI voice, how can it help you? It can answer 100% of the calls that you don't. You don't want it to interfere with how you do things, but you want it to jump in when you can't get it, which would up your odds 378 of being the first there and a 78% of closing that deal. I have been in dealerships hundreds of times. I can't tell you how many times in a dealership, people are desking deals, they're making deliveries, they're doing test drives, people are on the phone, and the phone starts ringing, and it just rings and rings and rings. And I'll look at the GM or the sales manager and I go, aren't you going to get that thing? He goes, nah, they'll call back, or I'll leave a voicemail. But we know what happens with that. You probably just lost the deal. The AI can also answer the most common questions. What are your hours? How do I get to your place? It can route calls. Can I talk to the general manager? Is Joe Blow there? Yeah, hang on. We'll transfer you. It can send emails, SMS, can explain different car models to people. It can book test drives, deliveries, demos, and more. The good news is you don't have to know how it works to use it. It's on 24/7, never gets calls in sick, never needs a lunch break or any kind of break, and it's always there. Now, I want to show you a little example of how it works. Now, before I show it to you, I want you to understand that all I did was I asked it to close for a test drive. Everything else that it tells you, it just rolled with the punches. Okay. So here we go.
Hello, and thank you for calling ABC Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. How can I help you today?
Yeah, what are your hours?
We're open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Brooke, and I wasn't really sure the difference between the 1500 and the 2500.
Both are great choices. The Dodge Ram 1500 is perfect for everyday use with a smooth ride and good fuel efficiency. The 2500, on the other hand, offers more power and towing capacity, ideal for heavy-duty tasks. Would you like to schedule a test drive to see which one suits you better?
Yeah, I'm in in a second, but I'm in a lot of snow. Which one would be better?
For snowy conditions, the Dodge Ram 2500 might be a better fit due to its robust build and enhanced traction capability. Would you like to book a test drive for it?
Yes.
Great. Could you please provide your email address so I can confirm the test drive booking for you?
Yes, David@gmail.com.
Thanks, David. Just to confirm, that's david@gmail.com. I'll get your test drive scheduled. Is there a specific day and time that works best for you?
How about tomorrow at 3 p.m.?
Perfect. I'll book your test drive for tomorrow at 3 p.m. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?
No, that should do it.
Your test drive is all set for tomorrow, 3 p.m. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Have a great day, David.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.
So as you can see, it is pretty impressive. So let's talk about AI conversation chat. Now this does SMS, which with our tracking numbers, they can text you back and forth. It will converse, the AI will converse with Facebook Messenger, Instagram, direct messages, Google Business Profile, Google and Google Chat, web chat, SMS chat. I'll get into that in a minute, and live chat. It's on 24/7, never takes a break, always on. Now, the AI conversation chat and how it can help you is a lot of you may already have some kind of a chat box on your website. And if you do, that's great. Ours is in the process right now of what they call crawl and learn. It's coming soon. And what that will do is it will crawl your website, learn all about you and your inventory. So now when somebody gets on one of your social networks or texts you or is on your website and they want to know about a specific vehicle, the AI will understand what they're asking for and tell them what they need to know. And also, it will book an appointment, a test drive, paperwork, whatever you needed to do. You can also send emails and SMS confirmations for appointments booked, just like you all received for this webinar. Again, it's Facebook Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp, Google Business Profile, Google Chat, SMS. And the good news again is you don't have to know how it works. You just get to use it. Okay? 24/7, never needs a break. Now, the last thing I want to talk about here is reputation and reviews with AI. And overall reviews. Most people think reputation's all about their reviews. It's not. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize is when you get reviews, there's two things that I'm going to suggest that you do or can do. One is your review should be on a carousel, updating as the reviews come in on your website. If it doesn't already do that, check with your website provider. If they can't do it, you can always ask us. Maybe we can help you with that. The other thing is you want to be always responding quickly, not like you do speed to lead where you want to be there in seconds, because then it looks like it's automated. But you want to be able to respond very quickly, within 5-10 minutes of when people leave a review. Good review, bad review, decent review. You need to be responding. When you do that, Google looks at the algorithm differently, that you are interacting with your customers on their stuff, and they will accordingly reward you for doing that. So if you didn't know that, you need to be responding with them. If you're using, we have what's called AI reviews or reviews AI. It can be hooked up to your Google reviews, Facebook reviews, and it can answer the reviews in, you can say 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you can teach it how you want it to respond. And also it can be set up that if somebody's like complaining, you could say, would you like this to get a manager involved? Yes. Okay. And it can send you an email or a text to let you know, we got somebody who's not happy. You need to jump on this. Reputation is not just one thing with reviews. It actually has 4 parts. The first part is speed to lead. We covered that. But the point is, and we all know, that if you call somebody, they don't call you back, they never respond. If somebody asks you about them, you're going to say, they never got back to me, which is kind of like a bad review. Number two, if you do get to the people, can you help me? Even if you can't help them, if at all possible. Maybe you don't have what they're looking for, but you know who does. And I'll tell you, that goes a long way when someone's talking to them and your name of your dealership comes up and they say, have you ever heard of these guys or whatever? Nah, I tried to do business with them. They didn't have what I wanted, but they sent me to somebody that did. So I think that was terrific. So you're a hero and your reputation is stellar by doing that. I'm not saying send your people away. You want to make every deal you can, understanding. But if you can't, if you can help them, help them. Stage 3 is the sales process. We all know that thing needs to go nice and smooth so that people are happy when it's all dead and done. And stage 4 is after the sale, the review and the service. Now, I'm going to suggest another hint if you don't already do this. Now, our systems have this in the app that we give our customers, but you may have something like this already, is that when you're sitting down, your salespeople are sitting down with the customer and the sale has been closed, but the car is being prepared for delivery. That is a great time to ask for a review. Are you happy with everything? You're all set. Oh yeah, we're thrilled. Great. Would you leave us a review on Google or whatever? Oh yeah, we'd love to. Now we all know you send that thing and very few actually ever fill it out. But if your salespeople are sitting there across from the person and you say, would you mind if I sent you a link to that? They'd say, sure. So through the app, you send them the link to your Google reviews and you say, well, click on that. Make sure you got that. Okay. Well, since we're sitting here doing nothing, do you mind filling it out now? Now, what's going to happen is one of two things. They're going to fill it out, which is what you want, or they're going to balk. And if they balk, something's not right with the process and them buying that car. Now's the time to find out what's wrong, not after they leave and have them say something that you don't want them to say. So it works in two ways for you. And then the other thing is, if they do fill it out, you're sitting right there, you get it, right? So the salesman sitting right there gets the reviews. Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. I'm really enjoying working with you. Now you got a review. The people are happy. They already said what they wanted, and you keep moving. The thing is, you do not want to drop the ball anywhere in this process, or your reputation can go in the tank. And if your reputation goes in the tank, your sales are going to go down. By automating as much of this process and all these different processes with AI as you can, it lets you do what you do best, and that's just sell cars. Okay. Well, folks, thank you very much for coming. Much appreciated. Have yourself a wonderful day.